Today we're going to see the phoenix rise out of the ashes. I've got all the hardware cleaned up. You might see me scrape a couple pieces with the brass brush, just a little bit here and there, but overall everything is really clean. Everything is really shiny and pretty. Typically when I do a guitar like this, I like to work one part of the body all the way through before I go to the next part. So first you're going to see me put the body back together, make sure everything works, and then we'll get the body out of the way and I'll start working on taking care of restoring the neck on it. So like I said at the beginning of this build, I wanted to keep everything as close to original as possible. These are the original pickups, rings, screws, and springs. After doing the chemical dip and the polish, and everything turned out almost as pretty as if it was just brand new. Since he had the back cover plate off of this guitar when he brought it to me, I figured I'd go on ahead and clean up the hardware in the back of the guitar too. I install the knobs on a guitar, I like to find a point of reference. You can see here that I'm using the front mounting ring screw on the bridge pickup. I got the pickups wired backwards, so I had to go in and flip the leads on the switch. That I'm buttoning up the last part of the body, we're going to get this out of the way, bring the neck over, and get started on that part.
Next on the agenda for this flame caster is the neck. Frets obviously need to be polished. The nut's going to have to come out, put a new nut in it, and get the headstock taken apart, clean up the hardware. When I clean the hardware, I don't plan to try to make this pretty and brand new looking again. I want to clean them up and make sure that they're working properly. And this is per my customer, who said he likes the idea of keeping the story behind the guitar. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to clean it up enough to make sure that it's not going to make a mess anywhere, and keep the look of it being worn out, keep the look of it being on fire at one point, and keep the story so that when it gets passed down to his family, which it really plans to do, they have that story with this guitar. So getting the hardware apart, I don't see as much of an issue. Getting the nut out of it, that might be a whole different story. But we'll see what happens. Looky there. I didn't know if that was going to come out without breaking to pieces, but it sure did. I know it's a little tiny thing, it doesn't make any difference really, but when I do these, when I take a set of tuners out, I like to match everything up and put everything back in the same place. I don't know why, I just do. It's, like I said, it's tiny, it's a little tiny detail. Nobody will ever notice, but I like to keep everything in order. Something my dad taught me years ago when I was a kid when we were working on cars together, I guess. Yummy! Just a little bit of rubbing compound. It's cool because you can still see the burn marks on the finish. Talk about a roasted maple neck. It's all the craze now. Let's go ahead and roast the maple. But don't get me wrong, I like a roasted maple neck. I just think this one's really cool. that I'm going to put in is a little bit on the sloppy side. We will fill in the gap. Rosewood board, fill in the gap. Use a little bit of rosewood sawdust. I'll keep some on hand just for such an occasion. Definitely charged. Still some little bit of charring going on. It looks like you can see it there, and still some discoloration over here, some charring and discoloration up here after giving it a good polish. It's the same kind of polish, the exact same polish I used on everything else that brought everything else back to shiny and new. So the fire definitely did some damage to this, which again gives it its character now. It's part of its story. I think it's cool.